John and Emily Carter seemed like an ordinary Florida couple, but behind closed doors, their home hid a nightmare that would shock the entire community and expose unspeakable crimes. In a quiet suburb of Florida, life appeared ordinary. Streets were lined with manicured lawns, children played on swings, and neighbors greeted one another with familiar smiles. Among them lived a couple who, from the outside, seemed like any other family. They worked regular jobs, maintained a neat home, and walked their dog each morning and evening. Their house, a modest single-story structure with white siding and blue shutters, blended seamlessly into the neighborhood. No one suspected that behind the closed doors, a horrifying reality was unfolding, one that would soon shock the entire community. It began on a seemingly routine day when local authorities received a tip that prompted a search warrant. At first, the investigation seemed minor, the kind of case officers handle regularly without drawing much attention. But as soon as they entered the home, the situation escalated rapidly. The house, which had seemed so ordinary, contained evidence that no one could have imagined. Investigators found computers, external drives, and storage devices, all of which contained highly disturbing materials. The images and videos they uncovered revealed the sexual exploitation of children, a discovery so horrifying that officers struggled to process it. Each file painted a grim picture, exposing the cruel reality of abuse that had remained hidden for years. The shock did not end there. As investigators delved deeper, they began uncovering evidence that suggested the couple's disturbing behavior extended beyond human victims. Files revealed sexual abuse involving their pet dog, adding another layer of incomprehensible depravity. The realization that such acts had been occurring under the nose of a seemingly ordinary community left both law enforcement and neighbors reeling. The couple's meticulous organization of files and the calculated nature of their actions indicated a premeditated pattern of exploitation, demonstrating a level of cold, methodical planning that was almost impossible to fathom. For neighbors who had waved hello just days before, the revelation shattered any sense of security. Families wondered how well they really knew the people around them, and the idea that evil could hide behind friendly faces sent a ripple of fear through the community. Authorities immediately secured the devices and began documenting the evidence, knowing that each discovery was critical not only for prosecution but also for identifying potential victims. The case would soon unfold into a story far more complex and disturbing than anyone had anticipated, revealing a darkness lurking in a place that had once seemed safe and familiar. As the investigation progressed, the depth of the couple's crimes became increasingly clear. Every digital device in the home, computers, phones, external hard drives, and memory cards, contained a vast collection of disturbing material. The files were carefully organized, with folders labeled by date, location, and even the age of the victims. This level of meticulousness indicated that the couple had spent years curating their collection, treating it almost like a project rather than a record of horrific abuse. Investigators realized that they were dealing not with a single lapse in judgment, but a calculated pattern of behavior that had likely been ongoing for a long time. Each discovery added another layer of shock, as the images and videos documented acts of sexual exploitation that no one in the community could have imagined occurring behind the closed doors of an ordinary home. Adding to the horror was evidence of sexual abuse involving their pet dog. The acts were meticulously documented in both digital files and written logs, suggesting a disturbing overlap between cruelty toward animals and exploitation of children. Experts in criminal psychology noted that such behavior often reflects deep-seated deviant tendencies and an absence of empathy. The combination of human and animal abuse made the case unusually complex, leaving investigators struggling to comprehend the mindset behind these acts. The sheer scale and audacity of the crimes highlighted the calculated nature of the couple's behavior, showing that this was not impulsive or opportunistic, but methodical and premeditated. Further examination revealed hidden notebooks and journals that outlined their actions in chilling detail. The writings documented routines, locations, and even potential victims, demonstrating a level of obsession and control that was difficult to process. Investigators began to piece together a timeline that showed how the couple's behavior had escalated over the years, becoming more daring and organized as they refined ways to avoid detection. Each new piece of evidence revealed a mind capable of planning and executing crimes while maintaining the appearance of normalcy in public. The community's shock was compounded as neighbors learned that the couple's seemingly ordinary life had concealed such darkness. Authorities worked tirelessly to identify victims and ensure their safety, knowing that the longer the abuse continued unchecked, the more lasting the damage. Every discovery added urgency to the case, revealing the terrifying reality that those who seem most ordinary can sometimes hide the darkest of secrets. The investigation into the couple's home was only the beginning, and as forensic experts continued their work, the horrifying scope of their crimes became increasingly apparent, leaving both law enforcement and the public in disbelief. News of the couple's arrest spread through the community like wildfire, leaving neighbors in disbelief. The quiet streets that had once felt safe now carried an undercurrent of fear and suspicion. People who had waved at the couple on their morning walks or exchanged friendly greetings were forced to confront the unimaginable truth. The friendly, ordinary couple they thought they knew were capable of unspeakable acts. The shock was compounded by the scale and nature of the crimes, which went far beyond anything the community had encountered before. Families struggled to process how someone who appeared so normal could harbor such darkness, and whispers of fear and disbelief rippled through schools, workplaces, and social gatherings. Authorities worked tirelessly to understand the full scope of the crimes, knowing that uncovering the truth was essential not only for justice, but also for preventing further harm. Forensic teams analyzed every device, every file, and every document left behind, building a timeline of abuse that spanned years. Each new discovery was more chilling than the last, revealing the depth of the couple's depravity. Investigators also worked to identify potential victims, realizing that some may have been traumatized for years without anyone knowing. The painstaking process required careful attention, as authorities sought to untangle the network of abuse and determine how long the couple had been operating in secrecy. The revelation of sexual abuse involving their pet dog added another layer of horror and disbelief. Experts noted that this behavior often correlated with broader psychological abnormalities, highlighting a pattern of control, obsession, and lack of empathy. As investigators pieced together the evidence, it became clear that the couple had constructed a hidden world, one that existed in parallel to their ordinary daily life. They had mastered the art of concealment, ensuring that no one in the neighborhood suspected the horrors occurring behind closed doors. Community leaders and local authorities scrambled to respond, offering counseling services and support for families shaken by the news. Schools reinforced programs to educate children about personal safety, while neighbors tried to process the shock of living alongside perpetrators of such heinous acts. The case forced everyone to confront the unsettling reality that evil can exist in familiar places and that appearances can be dangerously deceiving. Even as the couple faced arrest and prosecution, the emotional scars left on the community would linger, serving as a stark reminder that darkness can hide in the most ordinary of settings. The investigation was only beginning, and with each revelation, the story grew more complex and terrifying, keeping everyone on edge as the truth slowly emerged. As the investigation deepened, authorities uncovered layers of the couple's crimes that no one had anticipated. Among the encrypted files and hidden folders on their devices were communications with other individuals involved in similar illegal activities. These messages hinted at a broader network, suggesting that the couple's crimes were not entirely isolated. Investigators realized that the couple may have been part of a shadowy online community that shared illicit material and strategies for avoiding detection. Each new discovery added complexity to the case, revealing a chilling web of secrecy and manipulation that extended far beyond the walls of their home. The forensic team found carefully coded notes and logs that indicated the couple had been tracking potential victims for years. Some entries described locations, routines, and schedules, demonstrating a level of premeditation and obsession that was almost unfathomable. Authorities were forced to consider the possibility that the couple's behavior had escalated over time, moving from initial acts of abuse to more elaborate schemes designed to avoid detection while maximizing their control over victims. The meticulous organization of the evidence suggested that the crimes were a long-term project, carried out with cold calculation and disturbing consistency. Despite the mounting evidence, the couple remained unnervingly calm during questioning. Their lack of remorse and the detached way they described their actions shocked investigators, reinforcing the perception that they were psychologically abnormal. Experts noted that the combination of calculated planning, obsessive documentation, and a total disregard for the suffering of others painted a picture of deeply ingrained deviance. The realization that such individuals could appear normal to outsiders heightened the sense of unease within the community and among law enforcement personnel. Authorities also discovered signs that the couple had attempted to cover their tracks, using encryption, multiple devices, and misdirection to conceal the extent of their activities. Each new layer of concealment revealed a sophisticated approach to criminal behavior, indicating that the couple had studied ways to avoid detection and had likely refined their methods over years. The investigation evolved into a race against time, as experts sought to uncover victims, understand the full scope of the network, and secure evidence that could withstand legal scrutiny. The deeper the authorities delved, the more they realized that the couple's crimes were part of a far more disturbing and complex story than anyone had imagined. Each revelation heightened the tension and suspense, showing that even the most ordinary appearances can hide the darkest of secrets. The arrest of the Florida couple marked the beginning of the end for their reign of terror, but it also left a trail of unanswered questions and lingering unease. Court proceedings revealed the full scope of their crimes, with prosecutors presenting mountains of evidence that left little room for doubt. Digital files, detailed logs, and forensic reports painted a chilling picture of premeditation, obsession, and cruelty. The couple's calm demeanor during the hearings shocked many as they appeared unfazed by the weight of the evidence against them. Their lack of remorse only deepened the horror, forcing the courtroom and the community to confront the reality of human depravity. The legal process was long and painstaking. Investigators worked to identify every potential victim, aware that the psychological and emotional impact of the abuse could span lifetimes. Experts testified about the nature of the crimes, describing patterns of manipulation, control, and exploitation that had gone undetected for years. Families and neighbors followed the proceedings closely, grappling with the unsettling knowledge that such evil had existed among them unnoticed. The case sparked conversations about vigilance, child protection, and the need for community awareness, highlighting that appearances can be dangerously deceiving. Even as justice moved forward, questions lingered about the broader implications of the case. Authorities continued to investigate the couple's potential connections to online networks, unsure whether more victims might exist outside their immediate household. The revelations forced both law enforcement and the public to consider how many others might be hiding similar secrets behind ordinary facades. The community, once confident in its safety, now carried a lingering sense of vulnerability. Parents became hyper-aware of their children's online activities and neighborhood routines, while neighbors reevaluated the trust they had placed in those around them. The emotional and psychological aftermath of the case was profound. Counseling services were offered to those affected, and local schools implemented programs to educate children on personal safety and online risks. The story of the couple became a cautionary tale, illustrating the importance of vigilance, the challenges of detecting hidden abuse, and the resilience required to confront such darkness. While the legal system ensured that the couple would face consequences for their actions, the scars left on the community would endure, serving as a sobering reminder that evil can exist in the most ordinary places. The case closed in the courtroom, but its lessons and the haunting memory of the crimes remained, echoing far beyond the confines of the Florida suburb where it all began.